I have been playing Wuthering Waves completely free to play, since you still had a useless animation whenever you had to collect the echoes in the tacit field. I never took breaks, and I have been completing the Tower of Adversity every patch since the beginning of Renascita. Whimpering Waste has been a more tricky endgame even for a hardcore player as me, but I managed to complete it every patch since I got Bronze S3. I also completed all the tactical holograms except the Lioness, mostly thanks to Bronze S6. I think I gathered enough experience to share what I believe are the best 3 tips for new free-to-play players who plan to build a competitive account when it comes to endgame. Keep in mind that all of this takes time and you shouldn't stress out too much if you're not able to complete all of the endgame yet. Tip number 1. Min-max your 4-star sub DPS. If you've been playing for a while and have pulled on the banners, you probably own 2 of the most valuable 4 stars, Sanwa and Morifi. They buff some of the strongest units in the game. Morifi alone buffs the last 2 DPS that came out in the game, Augusta and Galbrena, and Sanwa, apart from buffing Encore, Camellia and Brunt, is a valid free-to-play alternative for Karthithia. It is likely then that you have at least 1 DPS unit that is buffed by one of these 2. To maximize your damage output when playing in the endgame, it is best to get the most possible damage out of your 4-star sub DPS. First, you should secure a copy of the standard 5-star sword and gun, then level up all their talents to maximum, leaving out maybe only normal attack at 8. Thirdly, and this is one of the most important steps, you should farm a competitive Moonlit Cloud set. Every wave plate spent in the Moonlit Cloud tacit field is a wave plate well spent, because this echo set is one of the most versatile sets in the game, with almost all sub DPS units being able to make use of it. Aim for Heron 4 cost with crit damage. You will get crit rate from the 5-star standard weapon and substats. 3 cost elemental damage depending on the element of your sub DPS, and 1 cost attack. Only exception being defense for Tauchi. For substats, you should ideally have at least double crit on every piece and attack percentage or energy regen, depending on the character as a 3rd role. Sanwa doesn't need that much energy because her rotation is faster, so you can prioritize attack percentage on her, while for example Morifi and Tauchi need way more energy to proc their liberation and so generate more concerto. Empyrean Anthem is also an option for Morifi since he is technically a coordinate attack sub DPS. I would still recommend farming Moonlit Cloud over Empyrean Anthem because of its versatility, since you can swap the 1 cost and 4 cost pieces between multiple characters. Tip number 2. Get Shorekeeper S2. Released in 1.3, Shorekeeper has since then been considered a must-have for every account. So far, she's the only character capable of providing crit buffing, with the sole exception of Chi Yuan, which is a much more niche character. Her buffing and healing capabilities, combined with her being relatively easy to build, make her an unskippable unit, regardless if you are free to play or not. On top of this, I would add that you not only need 1 copy of her, but 3. The value over S1 and S2 is insane, a real game changer that can blow dust off older units at S0. Her S1 expands the range of her ult and makes her ult effects last longer, even after doing her special intro, making it possible to start a new rotation with your sub DPS and your main DPS without having to activate her ult another time, while keeping all the buffs. Her S2 makes her able to buff a 40% attack when her ult is activated, increasing even more her ability to make your hypercarry characters stronger. Getting her S2 was personally a lifesaver for my account, as it made it much more comfortable to use my older DPS units like Jian and Xiang Liao in the Tower of Adversity. Shorekeeper S2 can definitely make you able to use your older, less invested units for a longer time, while making your stronger ones even more powerful and their rotation a bit faster. Tip number 3. Invest vertically in your main DPS units. When I started the game, my plan was to invest horizontally, so to get as many units with their weapon as possible, as long as I liked them in the story and their gameplay. After losing a bunch of 50-50 at high pity in a row, and after getting basically all the weapons at high pity, I started reconsidering how I was managing my account. Until Bronze 2nd rerun, I never used the purple corals to buy sequences of the limited 5 stars, and when I actually realized that was an option, I thought to myself, wouldn't it be just easier to get a character at S6 instead of getting many units with their weapon? You can buy at least 2 of their sequences per patch, making it easier than spending all of your resources on winning the 50-50 with all the new characters and their weapons. When you pull for a sequence of a character you already have, even if you lose the 50-50, you are still collecting the corals to buy their sequences. And assuming you got their weapon on the first banner, you don't need to spend astrites for copies. And last but not least, investing vertically on few characters instead of getting multiple characters at S0 is time saving in terms of farming and building. Every new character you get means more time spent farming materials and echoes for them. Deciding to invest in Bronze S3 when he rerun made the clearing the middle tower and the infinite torrent in Wuthering Waves much easier, and his S6 literally saved my account when 2 floors were added in the Tower of Adversity. Because he already functions so well with his S6 and his weapon, and I already have his best free-to-play support Sunwet at S6 and Shorekeeper S2, I don't need to stress out about getting his best premium support Lupa for a long time. The same thing can be valid for any main DPS character in the game. An S6 Galbrena and an S6 Prolova will have considerable longevity in the meta of the game, even if you don't have their premium supports Chiwan and Cantarella, way more than a new unit without their signature and at S0. As long as you dedicate some time to refine your 4-star sub-DPS builds, you can focus on getting your favorite main DPS at S6. Pretty much every main DPS unit in the game has an optimal free-to-play buffer at S0, with maybe the only exception of Zani. And so having a non-meta sub-DPS is going to be less and less relevant the higher the sequences of your main DPS are. Once you have completed the sequences of your character, you can start thinking about investing in their optimal sub-DPS. As of now, we only have 2 endgame modes, in which one requires 3 teams and the other one only 2. Therefore, it makes sense to invest vertically in 3 or 4 optimized DPS units, preferably of different elements, rather than getting many units at lower investment. This might change in the future in case Kuro decides to introduce an endgame mode with many stages, like Imaginarium Theater in Genshin Impact, but for now I believe that vertical investment is the best strategy. And as a last note, not really a tip, but more of a friendly advice, don't stress out. At the end of the day, Wuthering Waves is a game, and games are meant to bring fun and joy. If you start getting frustrated because you can't complete the tower, or you lost many 50-50 in a row, remember that building a competitive account takes a lot of time and patience, and enjoying the journey is the most important thing. Let me know in the comments what strategies you've been using for building your account, and let me know what you think about these tips. That's all for this video. See you in the next one. Bye!